Imagine waking up tomorrow, and the sun never moves again. Half the earth burns forever in daylight, while the other half freezes in endless darkness. Right now, Earth is spinning at about 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator. That invisible motion is what gives us day and night, stable weather patterns, and the 24-hour day we're used to. But what if Earth suddenly stopped rotating? In the next few minutes, we'll explore what would actually happen to the planet, the oceans, the atmosphere, and life itself if the Earth stopped spinning, and the first few minutes would be more destructive than almost any disaster in human history. Even though Earth stops, everything on its surface would still be moving at the same speed it was before. At the equator, that's about 1,670 kilometers per hour, faster than a commercial airplane. So if Earth suddenly stopped rotating, everything not attached to solid bedrock would keep moving eastward at that speed. Cars, buildings, trees, oceans, and even people would be violently thrown across the surface. At the same time, the atmosphere would continue moving around the planet, creating supersonic winds stronger than any hurricane ever recorded. Entire cities would be destroyed within minutes. The oceans would also keep moving. Billions of tons of water would surge across the planet, creating massive mega-tsunamis hundreds of meters high. These waves would flood entire continents and completely reshape coastlines. Many of today's major cities would simply disappear underwater. Earth isn't perfectly round. Because of rotation, the planet is slightly wider at the equator, a shape called an equatorial bulge. If Earth stopped spinning, gravity would slowly pull the planet into a more perfect sphere. This process would trigger massive earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and shifting tectonic plates across the globe. The planet's surface would be in chaos for thousands of years. Today, Earth's rotation creates our 24-hour day, but if Earth stopped rotating while still orbiting the Sun, something strange would happen. One full day, from sunrise to sunrise, would last an entire year. That means 6 months of daylight followed by 6 months of darkness, and this would completely change Earth's climate. The side of Earth facing the Sun would receive continuous sunlight for months. Temperatures could rise above 100 degrees Celsius, oceans would start evaporating, and huge areas would become scorching deserts. Meanwhile, the opposite side of the planet would sit in complete darkness for 6 months. Temperatures there could drop below minus 150 degrees Celsius, freezing oceans and covering entire regions in thick ice. Earth would essentially split into two extreme worlds, a burning day side and a frozen night side. Between these two extremes, there could be a narrow area where temperatures are more stable. Scientists sometimes call this region the twilight zone. It would exist along the line where day meets night, a thin ring around the planet. If humanity survived the initial disasters, this area might be the only place where life could continue. But even there, conditions would be harsh. The massive temperature difference between the hot and cold sides would create constant planet-wide storms and powerful winds. Earth's rotation also helps power the magnetic field generated by the planet's core. This magnetic field protects us from harmful solar radiation and cosmic particles. If Earth stopped rotating, scientists believe the magnetic field could weaken over time. Without that protection, the planet would be exposed to intense radiation from space. Over millions of years, this radiation could even start stripping away parts of the atmosphere, making the planet much more hostile to life. So, if the Earth were to suddenly stop rotating, the consequences would be catastrophic. First, the immediate devastation, supersonic winds, global tsunamis, massive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Then, the long-term effects, days lasting a year, half the planet burning under perpetual sunlight, the other half freezing in total darkness, violent global storms and the potential loss of magnetic protection. The Earth would become a much more extreme and dangerous place, but even in this scenario, life might survive in the narrow gray area between fire and ice.